For years, audiences wondered why no mutants appeared in the battles that defined Earth's history. One theory answers that question by pointing to Charles Xavier, the telepathic leader of the X-Men. Known as the strongest psychic mind on the planet, Charles is said to have hidden his entire species in plain sight, erasing all awareness of them from humanity's memory. According to the idea, Charles concluded that exposing mutants would doom them to fear and persecution, so he chose to make them forgotten altogether. By extending his mental reach through his machine Cerebro, he may have shielded mutants worldwide, making every encounter vanish instantly from people's recollections. In this way, mutants were never absent from events, such as the Chitauri invasion of New York, the rise of Ultron, or the battle between Iron Man's faction and Captain America's group. They were simply invisible to memory. The theory suggests that this secrecy lasted until Thanos executed the snap with the Infinity Gauntlet. The sudden erasure of half of all life forced Charles to rethink his strategy. With reality itself shattered, he could no longer justify keeping his people in hiding. Slowly, he allowed memories to return. At first, only fragments, rumors of unexplained powers and scattered sightings, until eventually the X-Men could emerge openly, as though they had always been part of history. The consequences of this revelation would be enormous. Heroes like Doctor Strange, a master of sorcery, or Wanda Maximoff, the wielder of chaos magic, might discover that their minds had been altered. Anger and mistrust could fracture alliances, perhaps leading to a second great conflict between heroes, but this time involving mutants. If Marvel follows this path, the theory offers an elegant method of weaving mutants into the established timeline without rewriting past events. It also sets the stage for greater mysteries, such as the possible return of the Infinity Stones, objects once thought destroyed but perhaps still tied to the cosmic imbalance left by Thanos. Adam Warlock entered the universe as a golden powerhouse engineered for battle, but one theory claims his destiny stretches far beyond fighting the Guardians of the Galaxy. In the comics, Adam has always been tied to the Infinity Stones, with a special bond to the Soul Stone. He has served as their protector, mediator, and at times the only being capable of wielding them without collapse. This theory suggests that when Adam discovers the stones were reduced to fragments during the events surrounding Thanos, he refuses to accept a universe without them. Instead of piecing together what was lost, he seeks to recreate them by harnessing raw cosmic energy, the same forces that once embodied concepts like space, time, reality, and power. In this version, Adam would keep the Soul Stone under his care while distributing the others among champions worthy of their burden. For example, Shang-Chi, master of the Ten Rings, could resonate with the Power Stone, while Doctor Strange, guardian of the mystic arts, could reclaim a reformed Time Stone. Each hero would act as a pillar of the natural order, rebalancing the harmony Thanos had shattered. However, restoring the stones would not go unnoticed. Celestials, ancient entities of unimaginable scale, or Kang, the conqueror who manipulates timelines, could be drawn to this surge of energy. Some interpretations even suggest Adam's quest could open paths to alternate versions of the stones across branching timelines, combining multiverse principles with classic cosmic legends. If this unfolds, Adam might form a group reminiscent of the Infinity Watch, gathering protectors who each safeguard a stone. Yet success comes with danger. Reforging the stones might destabilize reality itself, causing fractures that blur timelines, merge dimensions, and allow strangers from other universes to appear without explanation. This unraveling could become the spark for the next great crossover event, where multiverse chaos swallows every corner of existence. The idea of multiple realities first appeared quietly, hidden in obscure mentions within Doctor Strange's studies, or hinted at during conversations in Loki's story. But as events unfolded, the multiverse became louder and far more dangerous, shaping the course of the current saga. Many now believe all of this chaos is building toward one colossal collision, a crossover inspired by Marvel's monumental storyline known as Secret Wars. In that tale, universes crash together in catastrophic events called incursions. Entire realities collapse, and fragments are fused into a single planet known as Battleworld. This strange world is made from pieces of different dimensions, where countless versions of heroes and villains clash for survival or dominance. If the Marvel Universe follows this path, it could bring together every version of major characters in one shared battleground. Variants of Spider-Man, the full roster of the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, darker versions introduced in What If, and the shifting identities seen in Loki could all converge. With Kang manipulating timelines and reality itself becoming unstable, the stage seems set for such a confrontation. Clues already exist. The concept of incursions was introduced during Doctor Strange's second film, hinting that the boundaries between worlds are breaking down. When those walls shatter completely, not all arrivals will be allies. Ruthless variants, such as a tyrannical Tony Stark, a merciless Black Panther, or alternate Avengers born as mutants, could enter the fray with goals that threaten everyone. Amid this chaos, alliances would be fragile, trust could vanish, and betrayal might come from familiar faces. The Time Variance Authority, once charged with protecting order, may no longer be the force holding things together. Instead, survival could depend on heroes and villains alike adapting to this war for existence. If this grand convergence occurs, it could also serve as a turning point for the universe itself. Characters thought lost could reappear for one final struggle, while others could exit, making space for new legacies. And if this vast multiverse conflict truly begins, some believe it all traces back to one event, the snap unleashed by Thanos, which may have done more than erase life. It may have sparked the rise of mutants across creation. When Thanos used the Infinity Gauntlet, half of existence vanished in an instant, but some believe the snap did far more than erase lives. The immense surge of cosmic energy released with each use of the gauntlet may have awakened something hidden deep within humanity. Rocket once warned that every snap released radiation on a universal scale. That kind of force, capable of rewriting reality, could have triggered changes in human genetics, specifically the long-dormant X gene known from the comics. According to this theory, the snap acted like a catalyst, sparking the birth of natural-born mutants across the universe. Unlike heroes empowered through experiments or accidents, these individuals would represent an evolutionary step forward. Evidence may already exist in characters like Wanda Maximoff and Pietro Maximoff. Though their abilities were said to come from exposure to the Mind Stone, it is possible the stone simply unlocked what was already present within their DNA, meaning Wanda may have been a mutant from the very beginning. The scale of this becomes staggering when considering that the gauntlet was used not once, but 3 times. First by Thanos, then by Hulk to restore life, and finally by Tony Stark to end the threat. Each snap sent another cosmic shockwave ripping through reality, touching every world and species across creation. That means 3 opportunities for the mutant gene to awaken, spreading quietly and unnoticed until entire populations began manifesting powers. As more mutants emerge, their presence would transform global society. Governments could grow fearful, alliances between heroes might fracture, and the fragile balance of power would collapse. Yet this explosion of change may not have been the only consequence. The energy of the snaps may have reached far beyond Earth, stirring something immense in the depths of the cosmos, something ancient, something devouring, a being whose name has haunted galaxies for eons, and whose existence may be tied directly to Thanos himself. When Thanos used the Infinity Gauntlet to erase half of all life, the universe shook. But some believe that act was only the beginning. One theory claims Thanos prepared a final contingency in case his vision of balance was undone. Using the combined might of all 6 Infinity Stones, he may have created a being designed to maintain balance long after his death. That being is Galactus. In the comics, Galactus is an ancient cosmic entity who sustains himself by consuming the energy of entire planets, leaving devastation in his wake. This theory reshapes that origin. Instead of emerging from the dawn of time, Galactus would be the deliberate creation of Thanos, a living weapon engineered to prevent overpopulation by devouring civilizations. With the stones able to manipulate life, matter, and space itself, Thanos had both the motive and the means to craft such a predator. This perspective also explains why Thanos destroyed the Infinity Stones after the snap. It was not only to prevent their use against him, but to conceal the truth, that he had already used them to give birth to a force of annihilation. If Galactus were to awaken in this timeline, it would not be chance or destiny. It would be the last echo of Thanos' will. The implications are staggering. Galactus would no longer be a timeless villain, but an apocalypse created by design. Earth, rich in life energy, would inevitably be targeted, forcing every surviving hero, cosmic champion, and even the newly awakened mutants to unite in defense. It would also mean Thanos' shadow never truly faded. Every disaster after Endgame could trace back to him, culminating in the sky itself splitting open to reveal the hunger of his ultimate creation. And as the universe braces for this storm, those who were hidden until now, the mutants, may finally step forward to fight the terror born from the Titan's final act. Dormammu, ruler of the Dark Dimension, once appeared to be defeated when Dr. Stephen Strange trapped him in an endless time loop. Yet a theory claims Dormammu was never truly beaten. Instead, he may have turned Strange's ambition and pride into tools for his own long-term plan. Strange's rise to Sorcerer Supreme was fueled by intelligence, arrogance, and a relentless drive to outmaneuver every challenge. These qualities made him the perfect piece in Dormammu's game. The theory suggests Dormammu realized brute force would not be needed to return. All he required was patience and the removal of certain obstacles. Figures like Thanos, Tony Stark, and the Time Stone itself. When Strange viewed millions of possible outcomes during the battle against Thanos, he chose a single path. Officially, it was the one chance to ensure victory. But according to this theory, it may have been the timeline most favorable to Dormammu. In this outcome, Tony perishes, Thanos is erased, and the Time Stone, the greatest safeguard against Dormammu, is destroyed. Strange's fateful decision to hand over the stone could have been less about sacrifice and more about unknowingly clearing the way for Dormammu's eventual return. With the stone gone, and Strange's influence greater than ever. The barriers protecting Earth may already be weakened. His carefully calculated choices, if guided by ego, could make him the key to inviting Dormammu back into reality. To the world, Strange remains the trusted protector, but this interpretation recasts him as an unknowing pawn whose actions may have doomed the universe. If true, the fallout would be catastrophic. Cracks in reality could spread, dimensions might bleed together, and far more than demons from the dark dimension could arrive. Entire new forces, mutants among them, could step into existence as the multiverse fractures beyond repair. Sue Storm's pregnancy may become one of the most important turning points in the Marvel Universe. For years, the arrival of the Fantastic Four has been anticipated, and their introduction is already filled with complications. Instead of beginning on Earth 616 with a traditional origin, their first adventure places them in an alternate reality, pursued by a cosmic enemy capable of consuming entire planets. In the midst of this danger, Sue is carrying a child. Clues from the story indicate this pregnancy is not a minor detail. Sue is shown at different stages of carrying her baby, suggesting events span months rather than days. Scenes of the team celebrating the news are followed by moments of high tension as Sue goes into labor while Galactus approaches. This adds both emotional weight and cosmic stakes to the narrative. The child she carries is Franklin Richards. In the comics, Franklin is an Omega-level mutant with near-limitless potential, able to bend reality, shape universes, and overpower even divine beings. His birth in the middle of a cosmic pursuit dramatically raises the stakes. Some interpretations suggest the planet consumed early in the film may be the Fantastic Four's homeworld in that timeline, forcing them to escape to Earth 616 for survival. With the Silver Surfer Shalabal chasing them across the stars, the family's struggle intensifies at every step. By the time the team finally reaches Earth 616, Sue has already given birth, meaning Franklin is immediately part of ongoing events. His abilities could become a deciding factor in stories ahead, possibly connecting to Avengers Doomsday. Franklin's power to alter reality itself may be the key to stopping Galactus or even restoring damage inflicted upon the multiverse. If true, Sue's pregnancy is not simply a personal storyline. It becomes the spark that reshapes the future. Franklin's arrival could alter timelines, unravel dimensions, or serve as the foundation for a complete reset of the multiverse. Avengers Secret Wars, the climactic event of Phase 6, may be more than a massive crossover. It could serve as the ultimate reset for the entire Marvel Universe. In the comics, Secret Wars was a reality-shattering conflict where multiple universes collided, forming a single patchwork world known as Battleworld. Heroes and villains from countless timelines were forced to fight, survive, or vanish. When the conflict ended, Marvel used the aftermath to restructure its universe, carrying forward what worked while introducing new elements. The same pattern may unfold in the cinematic universe. After more than a decade of interconnected films, branching timelines, and multiverse upheaval, the scale has become almost unmanageable. Dozens of characters, overlapping storylines, and alternate versions now exist, and Secret Wars may be the moment when all of these threads collapse into one singular reality. With Kang's variants tearing across time, cosmic predators like Galactus emerging, and multiversal barriers breaking apart, the stage is already set for reality itself to fracture. By the end of Secret Wars, the multiverse could fuse into a new prime timeline, one where the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and other long-awaited heroes are seamlessly part of history. Rather than complex explanations or constant dimension hopping, this reset would make their presence feel natural, as though they had always belonged. Such a move would allow Marvel to streamline its universe without discarding past stories. Legacy characters could remain gone, return in new forms, or be reinterpreted for the future. Villains could be reintroduced with reimagined goals tied to the reborn timeline. Phase 7 would then begin not as a replacement of what came before, but as an evolution, carrying the weight of the past while starting with fresh possibilities. The multiverse unraveling may look like destruction, but it may in fact be Marvel's way of stitching together a single, stronger reality that sets the foundation for everything yet to come.